Welcome back everybody to the Minecraft Let's Play. Welcome to episode 12 of the Minecraft Let's Play. Today we're going to have some fun. I have some plans for today. We're going to be actually making a pumpkin farm today. And basically, I need pumpkins for a lot of the things I'm doing around here. I need pumpkins for lighting, and I need pumpkins for making jack-o'-lanterns and decorations. They're also useful for making pumpkin pie, snow golems, iron golems. So pumpkins are useful for a lot of things. So I'm definitely going to need to start creating a lot more than what I have right now. So this garden right here just ain't going to cut it. I'm only making a couple pumpkins and a couple melons right now. So anyways, I decided I might as well go ahead and install a pumpkin farm down here at the bottom of my little farming area down here. And I decided the best place to install it would be in this area up here, right next to the sugarcane farm. And the reason why is because I actually was able to install the daylight sensor system into the sugarcane farm. And the line comes from around here. I was able to install the light sensor. Here you go, here it is. It goes all the way to the surface and it carries a signal with it, and it basically tells this monostable circuit to trigger, and it will give a short pulse of redstone signal to the pistons over here. And that short pulse will basically do this. And it'll break all the sugarcane that are in the farm, and it'll automatically collect them, and I don't have to press the button. So it's pretty awesome. So I can actually use that same signal from that redstone line to power the pumpkin harvesting system, so that the sugarcane and the pumpkin get harvested at roughly the same time. I know that pumpkins grow a little bit slower than sugarcane, but as long as they're automatically being harvested, that's all that really matters. And with this farm, I'm probably going to get so many in the long run that it wouldn't really matter in the first place. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start carving out a little area over here for my pumpkin farm. And if everything works as planned, I should be able to have pumpkins automatically harvested by the end of this episode. So definitely look forward to making this episode with you guys. And thank you very much for joining me today. And just hang tight, and I'll share with you what my plans are from here. Welcome back everybody. So I've been experimenting here with these pumpkins, and I discovered something very interesting. The idea here is that pumpkins will not spawn if the pumpkin plant, this little thing right here, the stem, is covered with a solid block or a semi-opaque block above it. So for example, solid blocks and stairs or half slabs will not prevent the pumpkin from spawning. But if I have something that's considered an opaque block, like a trapdoor or a piece of string or something like that, then it will spawn as normal. And of course, air blocks are absolutely fine. So what I did is I set the random tick speed to 1,000 using this game rule, and I made it so that pumpkins spawn very quickly. And as you're going to see, all the pumpkins that have the opaque blocks above their stems grow just fine. And if I break these blocks, you're going to see that these pumpkins are going to start growing back as well. So I discovered that this is looks like it's a sort of bug in Minecraft. Either Mojang wanted to make it so that you have to have a block above the you had to have an empty space above the pumpkin in order for it to spawn, or it was just a mistake made in the code. But either way, it seems like it has nothing to do with light level or what type of light is hitting the pumpkin stem. Because as you can see, it's in the middle of night right now. There's no monster spawning. There's nothing here. I turned all that off. There's no light. There's no daylight. Only block light, which comes from these torches, as you can see right here. If you look right here where it says light level underneath biomes, it says light is 14, right? So when I'm on top of the torch here, the light level is 15. It's 15 from the sky and 14 from the block. Now, because it's nighttime, the effective light level is actually 14, not 15, because there's no skylight right now. So when I go onto this block, it says 0 because I'm on top of farmland, but if I just prop myself up here, you'll see that it's also 14 now, because I'm now underneath this block, so the sky level went down. But as long as there's a light level of 9 or more, the pumpkins will spawn just fine, so you don't need to have this many torches. So I found that an interesting little trick I could possibly use to make my pumpkin farm work is to use trapdoors like this so that the pumpkins can still spawn, but perhaps I could still collect the drops. So if I do this, I can still collect the pumpkin drops this way if I use a hopper minecart underneath the ground, but that's seems like a lot of work. So perhaps if I could find some slimes, I could instead put sticky pistons underneath the ground like this. And then I could power those sticky pistons so that they will eject the pumpkins upward. So allow me to break these blocks. And then you'll see, if I power these pistons down here, so when I power the sticky pistons below the pumpkins like so, so if I were to place sticky pistons underneath instead of regular pistons on top like this fashion, and I power them, you'll see how the drops will kind of get collected in that little column that you just saw. So let me play that again, but this time I'm going to keep the pistons powered so you can see where all the items are going. So I'll use a lever instead of a button. Watch this. Notice how none of the drops now are in this area. They're all on top of the pumpkins. So the next step perhaps could be that I take a water stream or something else that is powered, like for example I could have a dispenser right here that has a water stream, and then the water stream pushes the items over here into a hopper. And then once the items have all been collected, like this, then I could shut this off, and then the pumpkins can grow as normal. I like this idea more, but the only issue is that I need sticky pistons in order for it to work, because I have to retract these dirt blocks. So it all depends on what I have available to me. If I do not want to use sticky pistons, then I'll have to use hopper minecarts instead, which will require much more iron than just using sticky pistons. Or I can try to look for slimes and collect enough slime blocks so that I could actually make this whole system work. So I'm going to think about it a little more, and I'll get back to you guys on what my decision is. But before I make a decision, I just want to finish making this design work, just to make sure that it's actually feasible and it's actually tileable on a large scale, I should say. Hello again. So I've been working away here on the redstone, and I think I've finally figured it out. So in order to get the redstone to work correctly, the first thing that needs to happen is the pistons need to go up, so that the pumpkins are in this middle area right here, so that they're ready to be picked up by the water streams. Immediately after that, you want the buckets to be released by the dispensers, so that the water will flow forward and pick up all the items, and it'll move them forward to the very end. But the issue here is that that needs to be a pulse, because if it's a sustained holding signal, then this dispenser will not be able to get triggered twice. It needs to be triggered twice. The first time to dispense the bucket, the second time to pick up the bucket. So that's why we have to have a pulse system here. This is a monostable circuit that uses a sticky piston pushing up a solid block to create a one-tick pulse. That one-tick pulse is then transmitted to the piston and the dispenser at exactly the same time. The time it takes for the pistons to actually extend and get the pumpkins into place is fast enough where the dispensers don't have any threat of washing away the stems here. There's no issues there. So once this happens, we need to wait for a certain period of time for the water to wash all the pumpkins over here to the very edge and then fall off the edge. Once there's no more pumpkins in this little area, then we can pick up the water buckets. And then once the water has sufficiently washed away and there's no more water, then we release the pistons and they go back to their normal state. If we release the pistons too early, the water will flow down and destroy the pumpkin stems. So we need to time it perfectly so that none of that happens. And I've figured out the timing already right here. It's actually not that hard, you just have to use a bunch of repeaters, or you have to figure out some other technique. But it seems like the long chain of repeaters here seems to be an efficient technique for making that happen. I'm sure there's a more efficient way of doing this, but it seems the simplest and most effective way to me. Anyways, without further ado, let me give you a quick demonstration. So think of this piston right here, as the piston holding up the block of dirt. I'll even put the block of dirt there to give you an example. So imagine that piston there is the piston holding up the block of dirt, and above it is a pumpkin. When this piston gets pushed, the pumpkin will break, and it'll be and the position will stay. The piston will stay extended, holding the pumpkin in place. At that point, the dispenser that has the water will release its water, and it'll push the pumpkins away to the very edge over here, into the collection point right here. Once all of the pumpkins have been collected, this piston should go back down, but not until the water has been picked up and sufficiently put away. Here's a quick demonstration of that going on in action. Watch the piston and the dispenser. Notice how the piston did not go back into its normal reset state until all the water in this little pool had washed away. And we do that one more time so you can observe. Pretty cool, huh? So I have actually managed to hook this up to the actual system, and it works perfectly. So allow me to place these repeaters here so that I can hook it up to the system. The repeaters are the same on each side, so I'm not adding any extra delay to the system. Now let's push the button and see what happens. So I'm going to do this quickly so you can see. And voila! And just like that, none of the stems got washed away, none of the farmland was destroyed, and let's see, we have 16 pumpkins, 32. So we picked up pretty much all of the pumpkins in that one fail swoop. Now you might be asking, what if there's not as many pumpkins? Let's say that this is not full of pumpkins. Would it still work? Before I do that, let me set the random tick speed to 10, the normal amount. Let's say that there is not all these pumpkins here. Let's say that there's only a few. Would things still work even with only a few pumpkins in there like this? Well, let's see. Looks like everything worked as normal. Obviously, we didn't get the maximum number of drops, but we got a significant number. So, it goes to show that this design works regardless of whether or not the pumpkins are full or not, and it'll work underground too, because all I need are torches here. And as I demonstrated earlier, this works at nighttime. I even tested this whole thing at nighttime just to make sure. The lanes are easy to wash, are pretty simple. It looks like a complex design, but once you really kind of figure out how things work, it's actually not that hard. The only tricky part is getting the iron and the sticky slime balls needed to make the sticky pistons. So, if you want to take a look at this for yourself, here's a general look of the design. You need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repeaters going both directions. So 7 going this way, activating the dispenser, and 7 going this way, activating the piston to make the whole system work. And this is how long you have to wait between dispensing the water and then picking up the water again. So yeah, this is pretty effective and it seems like it works. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can implement this in my Minecraft Let's Play world. I'm not going to make a whole one of these for every single lane. If I have multiple of these lanes, I can just hook up a redstone line from this thing going to the dispensers and the pistons respectively. So the trick here is that you have to make sure the lanes are no more than 8 blocks long, so that because the water can't travel farther than 8 blocks. So I could have another lane next to it and then another lane next to it going in this direction all I want. Or if I want to make it even more tileable, I could have a lane going this way and then maybe have a lane going the opposite direction and then just continue on in that fashion. There's lots of ways you could do this, but for my purposes, I don't need that many pumpkins. I'll probably just stick with 2 lanes because each lane gives me 16 pumpkins when it's full, times 2 is 32. I'm harvesting that about once a day, so 32 pumpkins a day. That's more than enough than I need, really, because I'm not going to use that many pumpkins in a given day. So that'll stack up nicely over time, just like the sugarcane farm. So anyways, I'll go back to the Let's Play world, and we'll start collecting slime balls and all the needed resources to make this thing happen. What for you was only a few seconds is for me several hours. So after going underground and deliberating on how I would make my pumpkin farm, I realized that I would definitely need to go with the slime ball approach. So I decided to go ahead and make myself a slime farm. So I loaded up the seed for this world into a slime finder, which I found online, and I was able to find a set of chunks that I was able to use to make the slime farm. And so I'm actually digging out those chunks right now, and so that's why I'm down here. All that took me quite a while to figure out because I had to load up all the stuff online, and I had to find my save file and all that other things and all that fun stuff. But anyways, I already started digging down here, and the first thing I found was a bunch of diamonds, so let's go ahead and break them. Fortunately, I only got 2, but I do have a Fortune 3 pick that I was able to use, so maybe I'll get some more redstone off of it. Now that I have a Fortune 3 pick, I'm definitely going to mine all the diamonds I see here instead of saving them for later, because now I can actually use these diamonds to make decent items now that I have a enchanting station. I'm pretty close here to getting a level 30 enchantment again, so... Anyway, so I have to dig in this direction, basically. 16 blocks this way and 32 blocks this way. I have to dig that entire area out, and that will be one level of the slime farm. Just to give you reference, I'm down here at level 11. That's why you can hear all the lava. And the top corner of the slime farm is at negative 288 and 128. And the bottom corner is at negative 272, 160. Just to give you an idea. So I'm going to continue to dig this out. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I just want you to know what I'm doing. And then if you see me again, I'll probably be AFKing, waiting for slimes to spawn down here so I can get myself some slime balls. And then from there I can get started on the rest of the pumpkin farm. So I'll see you in just a little bit. And just like that, I have cleared out the entire area. Unfortunately, I made it 17 wide instead of 16 wide. I think I went a little bit too far. I was probably looking at the wrong numbers. I was looking at block instead of the XYZ. What you want to do actually is you want to go to the XYZ and you want to make sure that this corner right here would be exactly 280, and then that corner way back there would be exactly 160. It's kind of tricky, but you have to make sure you get your numbers right. And then over here it should be exactly negative 272 if I was to go inside the wall. But as you can see, I'm in 271, so really the wall should be right here, because I want to be a little bit ahead of 272. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I just have an extra wall here. It'll actually help with spawning a little bit, because then bigger slimes can spawn right here and take up this space as well. So not a big deal. Just a little bit more digging ahead to do. But yeah, as far as everything looks good here. I'm probably going to have to come down here and check every now and then to see if a slime has spawned. It's not very likely, unfortunately, because I haven't lit up any of the caves around here, and I keep hearing cave noises, which is a sign to me that I need to do some serious caving once I want to get some decent spawns. And I'm already running into little caves here and there, but I've been so busy with other projects I haven't really had time to go do any serious caving, so I'll try to do that when I'm off camera. So anyways, while I was gone, I also did some enchanting too. So I enchanted some diamond boots, got some protection 4, so we're working towards a full set of diamond armor. I repaired my diamond pickaxe, and I've been using this thing right here to get my Fortune 3 from my diamonds and redstone and whatnot. So I also ran into another cave up here. So anyways, so I'm going to come down here every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes or so, and see if any slimes have spawned. I'll check on it every now and then, and hopefully we'll get some slimes. We need 32 slime balls if we want to have enough slime to make sticky pistons for the farm, so I'll have to definitely check in on that on my own. But while I'm doing that, I can continue to work on the farm, continue to develop it, I guess you could say, and yeah, I'll keep working on that. I'll see you in just a minute. This is weird. This one's above ground. Bunch of mending fishing rods. Huh. I have never, in my entire history of Minecraft, ever seen a cactus this tall. 6 blocks. That's definitely a tall cactus. Huh. Looks like we got a savanna biome here. It's pretty cool. Make sure to collect some of this wood while I'm... Oh, darn it, I forgot my axe. Well, this is going to take me a while. Using a Fortune 3 pickaxe on leaves is a good way to get saplings. Especially for these trees that don't have a lot of leaves on them. Check it out, guys. Found a witch hut. Get out of here. Gotcha. Ooh, glowstone. That's pretty cool. Who knows, maybe one day, if this Let's Play world gets big enough, we can actually make this witch hut into a witch spawning system. That would be a lot of work, though. I definitely have to be very well set up and have to play in here for quite a long time to get to that point. The reason why I'm in a swamp right now is I'm trying to get slimes to spawn, but it's hard to find slimes. The underground area that I carved out wasn't spawning anything because there's too many dark caves around it, competing for spawning location spots. So I'm coming here at nighttime with the hope that a slime might spawn here, although it seems to be rather rare. But if I came here during a full moon, it would be more possible, I guess, that a slime would spawn. There you go. This looting 3 sword that I enchanted recently... Oh! Slime! Yeah, it's got looting 3 on it, so it's the perfect combination for what we're doing here. Alright, we got a big slime here. Let's see what we get. Hopefully we get a ton of slime off this guy. It's just the little teeny guys who give you all the slime. Oh yeah, we're getting tons of slime balls. Oh no, you don't. Oh. Man, I was really lucky that didn't blow up all the slime balls around here. Okay, I need to get rid of something. I don't need rotten flesh. I need slime balls, though. Okay, I got 21 slime balls. I need 32, so hopefully one more big-ass slime decides to spawn. Check it out. I was off camera, but I managed to kill a creeper and get a music disc. This is a really long one. It's like 5 minutes long. Unfortunately, no more slimes decided to spawn at all the rest of this night, so I'm going to have to stay here until 64, until I can get 32 slime balls, because that's the amount I need to do this project. Hopefully I can get that slime farm working one of these days. Otherwise I'm going to have to be coming out here every single time. I need to do something to sticky pistons, which is not something I want to have to do. So, anyways, I'll probably skip to when I get back to the base when I have my slime balls. made it back. I survived a huge, incredible journey. I even lost my boat and found my way back. Let's take a look at what I got. So while I was there, I had to kind of pass the time and wait for nighttime to come so I could spawn slimes. So I collected a bunch of squid ink and a bunch of vines, and then I went around killing other creatures in the meantime while I waited for the slimes to spawn. But yeah, I got a good haul. I got over a stack of slime balls, which is more than I expected. It turns out that when the closer the moon is to a full moon, the more likely you are to get slime spawning. So, unfortunately, I came right after a new moon, so I had to wait like 2 or 3 nights before I could actually get a significant number of slimes spawning. But I also found a bunch of loot from sunken ships and ocean ruins as well, which explains all the iron and the gold and whatnot. I even found a buried treasure, which gave me this heart of the sea. I know you can use this to make some sort of conduit underwater, so maybe in the future, once I can kill some drowned and get myself some nautilus shells, I can actually make an undersea conduit and maybe make an ocean base. So definitely leave a comment in the comment section if you guys want me to do that in the future. So yeah, and I got 2 mending fishing rods, so that'll be pretty good if I ever want to make like an AFK fishing farm for mending books. And I started on killing endermen to get ender pearls, so maybe I can travel to the end in the future. Yeah, exploring is always a good thing to do because you get lots of stuff you need. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and organize my stuff, and I'll see you guys back down at the bottom of the man cave, and maybe we can get started or finish that pumpkin farm once and for all. I'll see you in just a minute. Alright everybody, I just wanted to take a quick break before we went back to the underground area, and I just wanted to do some enchanting first. As you can see, I have 34 levels, so I might as well do some enchanting. I thought you guys might like to see what I'm doing behind the scenes here. So I went and collected some items, and let's see what we have going on here. I think I have everything. I got some books here too. Alright, so the way I typically do enchanting is I try to collect as many different types of items and or tools together as I possibly can. However, there are a few exceptions to that rule. Picks, shovels, and axes all get the same enchantments no matter what. So if I put the shovel in here, it's exactly the same as if I had just put a pick in here. And I'll get the exact same enchantments on those tools, including the axe as well. Swords are different, obviously, because they have completely different enchantments. Bows are different. Fishing rods are different. Books are different. All the armor tends to be different as well. I know that boots are very different than what you can get on helmets, but I think pants and chest plates are exactly the same. Unfortunately, we don't have enough diamonds to make any diamond chest plates or pants or anything like that, so I'm just going to stick with a regular iron helmet. So let's see what we're going to get first here with the tool enchantment. So we have efficiency 4. So that looks promising because I could put it on any of my tools here and it would definitely be a good addition, especially when they're about to break. I could just take this and add it to any of these tools that I want. My diamond shovel's about to break, so this might be a good enchantment. So I'm going to put it on the left side of my inventory because it's definitely one we're going to consider. Breaking 3. Okay, so this one doesn't have Unbreaking 3 on it, but it's not going to break anytime soon, so it doesn't really matter so much to me, so I'm going to put this one in the middle. Lure 2. Yeah, that's not really good. If it was like Lure 3 or Luck of the Sea 3, then maybe I would consider that, but I'm just going to put that over here because I don't want that at all. Let's see, I'll do a book. Protection 3, that's pretty bad. Definitely not worth my time. And if I had a diamond helmet, I would get Protection 4, which is good, but I already have Protection 4 on these boots, so it probably wouldn't make a difference. So, okay, yeah, I think I'm going to go with the efficiency 4 on this pick. Do I want to try to go for a sword, possibly? This one's already pretty good. Sweeping edge 3, sharpness 4, looting 3. I'm definitely not going to need to fix that up anytime soon or anything. It is taking a lot of damage, but it's not really going to continue to take a ton of damage right away. I definitely have some time here. So I think I'm just going to go with this enchantment. Let's see what we get. Unbreaking 3, efficiency 4. That's actually pretty good. So when this shovel decides to break, I can just add this one to it, and I can get efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, and a shovel, which is pretty good. Okay, so that means that there's the enchanting situation got completely reset, so let's see what we have now. As you can see, I have 31 levels, so I can do one more level 30 enchantment. Ooh, Luck of the Sea 3. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to put that here in the middle. Punch 2. That I would choose that if I had elytra. Maybe I could do like, I could try to learn how to do, flight with a bow, but punch 2 is pretty useless, to be honest. Power 4 would be much more interesting. This bow didn't, the flame is good, but punch 1 is kind of useless. I'm going to put that over here. Let's see what we have here. Loyalty 3. I don't know if that's a very good enchantment or not, because that's supposed to go on a trident. But I don't even have a trident, so that's kind of useless. Okay, let's see here. Protection 4 in the helmet. Again, don't need that. I'm going to have to make a tool here to try out the tool enchantments. Let's see if we can go for a pick, because picks are always a good, safe bet to go with. Maybe I can get a Silk Touch pick. That would be really nice. Efficiency 4. You can't go wrong with Efficiency 4. Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3. Perfect. So I already have one of these picks already, but that one's going to be breaking pretty soon here. And I can definitely hold on to that old pick, and I can have this one right here for the future. So awesome, I have a really good diamond pickaxe for fortune, and I just got my work pick right here, so that's awesome. So now that we got all the major enchanting taken care of, I can go ahead and do some of the minor enchanting. So I'm going to do just a level 1 enchantment here for my helmet. Projectile protection is good. And I think that should do it. Once I get 30 levels, I'll definitely come back here on my own. But yeah, this is just to give you guys an idea of how I do my enchanting and what it is I like to look for when I go enchanting. Definitely consider doing this for yourself in the future. Definitely considering enchanting up as many of these fishing rods as possible, because maybe I could make a AFK fishing farm that could actually yield some good results. So definitely see if that was a possibility in the future. Anyways, I'm done wasting your time. I'm going to go ahead and go down to the bottom of the man cave, and we'll finish up the pumpkin farm and maybe end the episode. Alright everybody, welcome back. Here is the pumpkin farm all said and done. I went ahead and skipped through all the buildings since I already showed you how to make it, but I went ahead and used those slime balls to make sticky pistons. I placed those sticky pistons underneath the dirt, and now everything is all set up and ready to go. All the redstone is in order, everything is a-okay. I actually tested it already, so everything should work just fine. Same concept as before. If you look carefully, you'll see that this is exactly the same as the creative world. I just had to move things around so that I wouldn't switch other circuits that don't need to be switched at the wrong time. But anyways, that repeater right there controls the pistons, and that repeater up there controls the water buckets. So everything is all in order now. This is the monostable circuit. It's a sticky piston that goes up. It creates a one-tick pulse. The one-tick pulse travels along these repeaters, triggers the water dispensers. Once they're done washing everything away, turns them off, and picks up the water again, and then it travels back down here, and it releases the piston at just the right time. So everything is timed perfectly, everything works. Let's go ahead and test it and just make sure I'm good on my word here. So I'll click the button. As you can see, everything has been properly collected and harvested. So if you're wondering why there's a pillar in the middle here, I actually had to hide a water source block so that these farmland in the middle could remain hydrated, if you will. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the ones in the middle because this is just one spot too far away. I couldn't figure out a way to move a water source block into there without spilling over into there. Actually, I just realized if I made that right there a stair, and then I put water inside the stair, it would not spill over onto this side, and I could hydrate those water blocks. It's actually a good idea. I'll make sure to implement that after I turn off the camera here. But anyways, you gotta find clever ways of hiding the water source blocks so you can keep this farmland right here nice and hydrated, so you get the most pumpkins. And yeah, the pumpkins just start placing themselves on their own, and it's already hooked up to the daylight sensor. So once a day, the daylight sensor will trigger this redstone line right here, which will go down into this repeater right here. and this repeater will trigger this entire circuit, which triggers the pumpkin farm. This is also, that daylight repeater you saw is the same circuit that triggers the sugarcane farm here. So the sugarcane farm and the pumpkin farm are now using the daylight sensor to trigger themselves automatically. So everything is automatically harvesting. I'm automatically getting pumpkins, I'm automatically getting sugarcane, and the the cactus farm is fully automatic. It doesn't need to be triggered with redstone. So yeah, I'm definitely coming along here. All these farms are definitely working. I realized that the mob farm is actually in this direction, so I decided I'm not going to be building in this direction for now on. I'm just going to make this like a little path to get around the ladders here. I just don't want to get anywhere near the mob farm, because when I start building it up, I don't want to actually intersect with any of the machinery back here. So anyways, that'll pretty much wrap things up for me here. Cactus farm is working really well. It's filling up the chest there. The netherwort farm is doing, well, it doesn't have a hopper there, but it's working exactly the way I need it to. The sugarcane farm is collecting a lot of sugarcane. And the pumpkin farm has actually almost produced a stack of pumpkins already, and I haven't even triggered it. So it's definitely doing its job. So yeah, absolutely awesome. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do the comment of the day, and then I'll end the episode. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Fortunately, it always seems to be raining in this world, no matter where I go. But I feel like, as long as you guys are watching, this video will always be interesting to record and produce Minecraft episodes here. So I apologize once again for the latency between the videos here. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks since my last upload, so definitely want to stay committed to the series, but understand that I also have other things going on in my life. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and read this comment. So Nicholas Bazo posted, "Love the video, keep up the series." It's very simple, but I really appreciate all your support and everything. You know, it's comments like that that kind of keep me motivated to keep making these videos here. So I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me so far. And I know I'm not the best at making videos, and sometimes I don't produce them in a timely manner, but I definitely try as hard as I can to make these videos interesting and, you know, definitely kind of a tutorial style sometime as well. So if you guys like what I'm doing, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to leave comments in the video telling me what you think and maybe possible ideas for the future. But yeah, I'll definitely keep making videos as long as you guys are watching. So without further ado, have a very nice day. Thank you for watching.